This week, I'd like to take us back to the Old Testament. The Old Testament, surprisingly, names and gives prominence to quite a few women who were not Israelites but rather foreigners. Hagar was an Egyptian slave who belonged to Sarai, the wife of Abram, who we will later know as Abraham, the great man of faith who is the father of the Israelites. This is of course a familiar story to most of us. Sarai was getting older and she still hasn't born a child to Abram. So she decided to give Hagar to him to bear him a child, as the custom of the day allows this practice, where the son of a slave woman would be counted as the son of her mistress. Abram agreed to this suggestion, and soon enough, Hagar became pregnant with Abram's son. As was the custom, slave women bearing their master's child received an upgrade to their status, and apparently this made Hagar act differently towards Sarai, causing the latter to be quite upset. When Sarai reported the situation to Abram, he simply said, "She is your slave. Do whatever you want with her." And so Sarai began mistreating Hagar, to a point where Hagar decided that it was better for her to run away and die in the desert rather than endure Sarai's treatment of her. I'm sure we've all felt something similar to Hagar. Situations where we are powerless and have to endure suffering, whether caused by events or people in our lives. Times when we simply think we've had enough and we can't go on anymore. Times when we feel like running away and giving up on everything. Even times when we feel like we are lost in the wilderness. In the middle of that wilderness, the angel of the Lord found Hagar and told her to go back to Sarai, as there will be a good ending to this story for her. Hagar will have a son who will grow to be a great nation. Just like God made a covenant with Abram, God made a covenant with Hagar. Her offspring will become a great nation as well. The angel of the Lord gave Hagar a name for her yet to be born son, Ishmael. God hears. And Hagar in return gives a name to God. Genesis 16 verse 13 says, "Thereafter Hagar used another name to refer to the Lord who had spoken to her. She said, 'You are the God who sees me.'" Hagar was the first person in the Bible to give a name to God. And what a beautiful name she gave. El Roi, the God who sees me. When the going gets tough for you, remember God. El Roi sees you. God sees you and hears you just like he saw Hagar in the desert. You may be suffering now, and there may be suffering in store in the future as it happened to Hagar. But something good will come out of it. Something good always comes out of it.